Hey, what's up guys? Kaiser here, and I'm hanging out in the Dream Hotel, and I thought it'd be a good time to do some of this stuff that I'm doing for all of you guys that are interested in the franchise program. I've been doing some book reviews, that's what I have for you today, and also we'll be doing other stuff just to get you all the information you need, because obviously doing a franchise is a big step. Not just taking that step, but all the work that comes after that. That being said, it's one of the most fun things in life. It's one of the best adventures in life. And that's what I have to talk about today. Today's book is going to be this one, Multipliers. It's a good business, leadership, management book. Really applies to every area of life. And before we even get started, let's talk about that aspect, that taking this step into the franchise for Better Body, it's almost the same way I describe fitness. I talk about fitness as the most important part of life, how once you get that handled, it's gonna help, it's gonna affect, improve every single part of your life. Well, franchising our program was the next natural step in that. It's also about developing yourself as a person. The way that we talk about fitness is not just having nice abs at the beach, although that's a very good, important part of that. It really turns out to be a small part of the equation. That once you do have that, your life is not complete. Actually, what you find is that people that live for only that have empty lives, and if you follow those kinds of people around, you probably wouldn't want to be them. And the same thing goes for money, for business. It's not just about making money. People that are only obsessed with that aspect, first off, very often fail. And secondly, if that's the only part they're good at, you wouldn't want to be that person either. You might want to have their money, but you wouldn't want to be that person. So this book, the point of this book is leadership. It's about multiplying people. And it's going to teach you a habit that is going to affect every area of your life. You're going to become a better parent, a better friend. You're going to get more and have a better sense of personal power and personal satisfaction. So that's kind of the point of this franchise program. It's to hit that next level. And to hit that, you're going to have to learn skills. You're going to have to develop yourself as a person in new ways. But it's personally satisfying, it's personally worthwhile, and financially it's very worthwhile. So let's get to the book, right? Let's do this book review. Now, this is one of my favorites. It's a classic. Just reading the first, it's a modern classic. Just reading the first few paragraphs. Now, I happen to be in my second reading of it, and that's the reason why I decided to put it here. I'm just a few pages in, 30 pages in, I've already got a ton of value out of it. And the main points here is that there's two types of leaders out there. There's the kind that seems effective, they're barking orders, they're doing whatever it might be, they're actually bringing people down and getting less out of people and making those people less capable. And then there's a different kind of leader that's a multiplier, that it can be shown will actually make people smarter, that their brain will operate at a higher level. Now, that being said, this type of leader is not a softie. They're often very driven. They often get a lot out of people. They're tough on people, but there's a certain way that they do things that they get more out of people. And if you really think about it in life, there have been leaders, people, hopefully it was your parents, but very often it wasn't, but there may have been a teacher, a coach, someone in your life that got a lot out of you, that got you to who you are, that made you a better person, and they were tough on you, but they were tough in a positive and constructive way. They didn't suffocate you. And that's essentially what this book teaches you about and tries to teach you. I really challenge you to think whether it was someone that was in a leadership position that was soft on you that you respect. You might have found them pleasant, you might have found the environment pleasant, but when you think back on it, I don't think you probably necessarily respect them or the experience as much as the person that was harder and tougher on you. I remember back, like, many people have told me, hey Kaiser, you're a great writer. I necessarily consider myself, I don't know, on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 6. But a 6 is pretty good to get through life and do some good stuff with your life. I've written a book off of my writing ability. So I've been complimented on that many times. And I had one professor in college. He was actually a history professor, and he was brutal. He was brutal on us. When I thought I did a good job, the type of job that would get me an A in another class, it would come back with red marks, sarcastic remarks sometimes, where he'd say like, did you really mean to say that? But it got you thinking critically. It got you to the next level. He didn't sugarcoat things. He had the best intentions in mind. So that's a multiplying type of philosophy. I think back to coaching. I had a Muay Thai coach at one time. They were very tough on you, didn't let you take water breaks, didn't like to take your excuses, didn't listen to them. Oh, that's okay. No, and that got you to a higher level. It's a skill that I have for the rest of my life, and it's something that I got because someone was hard on me. So being hard on people doesn't mean that you are necessarily doing something wrong, but there is a way to do it wrong. That's one of the main things this book talks about. Because the bottom line is, when it comes down to it, why is it that you would want, why somebody would want a franchise? In the back of your mind, in some ways, and there's nothing wrong with this, the purpose is that you have a machine that works without you, that operates without you, that you could eventually step away from. That's why you would want to do this rather than do something on your own, that the systems are there and that people can run the business for you. That's very much the way Better Body operates today, without my direct input. And to get to that level, that's definitely doable, but to get there, you're gonna have to learn leadership. And it's not just something that people are born with. It's a skill that you can develop, that you can learn. You have to spend as much time on this as you have to spend, like to become a great trainer. Someone might have to spend a lot of time to develop our program into a great training program. Well, to let you, to allow you to run the business and do things the way you'd want to, you're gonna have to spend that same amount of time on leadership. So that explains this week's or this episode's recommendation, guys. Multipliers, pick it up, go through it, you're gonna get sucked in, a very valuable book. And this is the critical skill to make your franchise location work. And it's the critical skill, I feel, to have the best and most fulfilling life that you could have. All right, guys, so enjoy the book, and you'll obviously be getting a lot more recommendations and info from me right here on the Better Body business side. Take care.